Hello, hello. This is how we are going to look at backtesting. Now, we're going to do an hour backtesting here. The timer is started. And, okay, so I'm going to be using a 1 minute and a 15-minute chart. We're currently now on the 11th of January of Wednesday, 2023, and the day is concluded. What I'm going to do moving into the next day is mark out previous day's high and low. This day, Wednesday, we ended up taking Monday's high as well as Tuesday's high. So momentum is bullish, and we are going to carry that context forward with us. Okay, it looks like the low of the day was made at 2 a.m. High of the day was made at 3:45. I'm just going to begin by marking out again the previous day's highs and lows. I use blue for the high and red for the low, as ICT talks about in what I would tell my younger self. That's where I got the idea. We have previous day's high, previous day's low. I'm going to mark out a vertical line on midnight. It's a very faint line. And we're going to proceed. Now, the idea of this backtesting is to find opportunities that align with OTE on a 15-minute chart. So, for example, this opportunity yesterday, it's a beautiful OTE entry. And we're going to look for things that follow that along. Now, we are going into a Thursday here. I'm going to skip time forward first to midnight. I'm going to mark out midnight price. The best shorts occur above midnight open. The best longs occur below midnight open. Okay, so we do have our midnight open price. I'm going to mark that in purple. It's just a personal preference. I'm going to move forward to 8 a.m. That is typically when I'm on the charts, and so it is most realistic. Okay, so we're going into 3:30 now. This was that Asian range, was a consolidation. We've taken the sell side from the Asian range. Going into 5. Interesting to see how price reacts with midnight price. We see immediate movement away. Touched it at 447 and 451. What's the news for the day? CPI and a Biden speech. This is a massive news day. Looking at what liquidity there is left to take. We are currently in okay, so this is a massive market maker buy model. Massive market maker buy model. Okay, so it's now approaching 8 a.m. We took this sell side here. we've also taken this buy side. News is at 8:30. It's now 8:15. We're moving above. Okay, so there's CPI. Massive move downwards. We even touch. So massive move downwards. I'm going to slap a fib on the previous day's highs and lows. Okay, so we actually touch exactly OTE, and we see strong rejection and reaction from the 78.6% retracement level. Move again above midnight price. Take that buy side. Going into 9 a.m. now. Now we have taken the previous day's high, and we're above midnight price. I'm curious if I draw a fib on this displacement leg. I'm curious if we see a return into a discount level. Okay, below midnight price, we just hit 50%, which is technically discount. Okay, so we do see reaction from that 78.6% retracement. Because the momentum is bullish, we've been taking previous day's highs. I'm going to go forward with that logic in mind. We are currently below midnight price, which is favorable for longs. So I'm going to long this. I'm going to be targeting half a standard deviation of this displacement leg. With my stop, I'm going to put it below this swing low that rebalanced the fair value gap. This is a 3R trade. Putting on 20 position size, this is the same as using a full E-mini contract. We're going to save and journal this. Going to add a screenshot. We are below midnight price. We have been taking previous day's highs, so our bias is bullish. We saw strong reaction to 78.6% retracement level of previous day's range, so our bias is bullish. With that framework in mind, we are targeting 0.5 standard deviation of the displacement leg. Okay, we are in the trade now. Going into 9:30 open. And we are stopped out. Okay. I'm going to journal that as well. trade recap, stopped out. Now something that I am curious is if I slap a fib onto this wick here, I'm curious to see if price respects the mean threshold of that wick. Okay, so we do respect the mean threshold of that wick. Okay. Let's clean this up a little bit. Now I'm looking at this displacement here. We have moved to premium. We just touched that 0.5. Okay. I wanted to see if we would dip a bit further down into this bullish order block here, this black candle, but we didn't. We just simply displaced higher, and that's fine. There's no fear of missing out. I'm going to slap a fib on this displacement leg. If we move below the 0.5, I would likely long that. Okay. Noticing these equal highs, all these equal highs, this is suspect. This is suspect. We are in a discount of this displacement leg. We're also in this fair value gap on the 1 minute. And again, we're in a discount of the 15-minute BISI. So I'm going to look to long this again. Targeting 0.5 standard deviation of this displacement leg. My stop is going to be just below the fair value gap. I don't want to see this close below this fair value gap here. So this is a 2.5 hour trade. We're below midnight price, so longs are going to be favorable. Below midnight price. This is an OTE of the 10 o'clock displacement leg. There are suspect relative equal highs above us. My bias is bullish. We are in the trade. Let us see what happens. Okay, we see an immediate reaction from that point. Going into noon, we're about 1 hour, so I am going to bring my stop to break even here. We are still in the lunch hour. Next target would be these relative equal highs. We have taken these relative equal highs. And trade is a success. We're going to screenshot this. Trade recap. Excuse me. Trade is a success. The OT of the displacement leg was beautiful. Something I'd be curious about now is the consequent, or excuse me, the mean threshold of this wick here. And if we begin to see a reaction at that, because this is a bullish order block, I'm curious about how price reacts to this wick. There are a lot of swing lows here. Looking for the circle. Where is the circle at? Where is the darn circle at? Okay, we can use this. So price has left these swing lows, which to me are a little bit suspect. They make me think of a market maker sell model, but I'm curious to see what price does in reaction to the mean threshold of this wick. Timing, we're going into 1 p.m. now. Okay, 125. Interesting. That's a strong reaction. We never closed above the mean threshold of the wick. Strong reaction. Now I'm actually curious. This makes me want to take another trade. I'm going to look at this displacement leg using the bodies. Okay, we are exactly at the OTE of this displacement leg, so I'm going to enter another trade now. Stop. Is going to be below 50% of this bullish order block. Target is going to be this swing high. Low hanging fruit. We are below midnight price. I'm expecting bullish continuation for the day. The 130 macro has brought us into an OTE of the New York lunch displacement leg. So we're now in this trade, 3R trade. Seeing a strong reaction. We're already at 2R, so I'm going to bring my stop loss to break even. And trade is a success. That has another 100 handles. Trade recap. Bullish continuation was correct. Strong reaction to midnight price. This is a classic ICT buy day. So in those two trades alone, just about $4,500 on one contract, one full mini contract. That's a lot of people's 2 months' salary, all within a day. I'm definitely done trading now for the current day, so we're just going to see how the rest of the day plays out. We've taken this buy side. So, okay, going into 215, I'm just curious again how the OTEs of the displacement legs are going to play out. This is a BISI. Hit that 0.5. My cat is mewing. Okay, we go down further into a premium of this discount of this displacement leg. It's now 3 p.m. We move further down. Going into 345 now. Okay, so we just consolidate for the rest of the day. Okay, so we're going to mark out the day's highs and lows and move on to the next day. Interesting that CPI made the low of the day. High of the day was at 2 p.m. Okay. And I'm going to mark out with a vertical line midnight price. I'm just going to skip on ahead here. I'll take away these triangles. We have an Asian session moving downward. Okay, we are going to mark out our midnight price. In the London session, we are moving above midnight price and into a premium of this displacement leg. I'd be curious if we see a move downward to take these relative equal lows. Consolidation, displacement, retracement. Take all that buy side. Okay, we plunge into this sell side liquidity. It is 6 a.m. Moving further downward, what is the news today? Michigan consumer sentiment is 8:15. It is a Friday, which is not an optimal trading day. In a very deep discount relative to midnight price. Okay, this is our 9:30 open. Curious to see how price reacts to this 15-minute SIBI. Going on to 10 a.m., we see protraction above midnight price. Now I would expect this fair value gap to become inversion if we were to see retracement. Nothing but upward movement, really. It's 10:30. Looks like we are reaching for the previous day's highs. Going into 11 now. I'm going to slap a fib on this displacement leg. If we move below 50%, I'd be curious in longing. $11.30. Okay. So we've now moved into a discount of this displacement leg, and we've moved back into this inverse fair value gap. At least I'm expecting it to function as an inverse fair value gap. I'm going to enter this trade here. We're below midnight price. We are in a discount of the displacement leg. Target is going to be 0.5 standard deviation, which coincidentally aligns with the previous day's high. Stop is going to be where would our stop be? I'll place it right here. This is a 2.2R trade. We're below midnight price. We are below midnight price. This is the OTE of the New York AM displacement leg. I have bullish bias as previous day's highs continue to be taken. Targeting 0.5 standard deviation, which happens to align with previous day's high. Now we're going to enter the trade. See a strong reaction from that inverse fair value gap. Going into noon now, we've already captured 60 handles. We do close above this SIBI. We're at 1R, so I'm going to bring my stop to break even. We'll see how the day plays out here. It's 12:45. Going into 115. Here's to see what the 130 macro brings. Displacement higher. Looks like we are reaching for that previous day's high. I'm going to bring my stop loss to below this bullish order block, this black candle here. It'll be 60 handles regardless. Two p.m. And trade success, 120 handles. Okay. Trade is a success. Our bias was accurate, and 0.5 standard deviation of the displacement leg was acquired. I'm not going to make any more trades for the day. I am curious how the rest of this day will play out. We want to see how price interacts with previous day's highs. $3.15 and into power hour, we continue to surge higher. $3.30, continuing to surge higher. I imagine the high of the day is going to be made here. Okay, so again, another classic ICT buy day. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This is within 2 days of trading. So 2,400, 4,400. It's around $7,000, $8,000 made on one contract within 2 days of trading. I'm just holding for the daily range. So moving into the next day, we're going to mark out previous day's lows and highs. Again, low of the day was made at 9 a.m. High of the day at 3:30. So we have been seeing the full extension happen into the power hour. I'll mark these out to 1600 of the next day. Marking out midnight price. And we're going to move ahead forward into, I'm going to zoom right ahead to midnight price. It is now Monday, Sunday, which is technically Monday. We're already taking the previous day's high from Friday. Okay, so we have our midnight price. Oops. Okay, we're going into the London session here. 1:45 a.m. We are moving strongly lower, below midnight price. This makes me think that the algorithm is putting price into a discount only to send it higher later. $5:45, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Okay. $9:15, 9:30 open. $10 o'clock displacement. Price moves into this BISI. $10.30. Okay, so this was likely the silver bullet. And if we also take a fib of this displacement leg, it is an OTE. That's a beautiful OTE there. We have another BISI here. Now something that does pique my interest is these relative equal lows. The algorithm does not just leave these here for no reason. It often will come back to take them. It's 11:30. Going into noon now. We have this SIBI here. It is 12:30. Okay, price respects the SIBI. Going into 12:45. Oh, okay. This was a short trading day. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, so this is an inside day. Well, we did take the previous day's highs, so I do take that back. We took it in the Sunday Asian session. So moving into our next day, going to mark out our high of the day. Low of the day at 4:45. Going to drag these out to 1600 of Tuesday. Going to mark out our midnight, the vertical line. Okay. So just to get a general sense of what is going on, I'm going to drag a fib on this entire displacement leg and see how we interact with premium and discount. Market maker buy curve, south side of the curve. We may end up running for this previous day's low. I'm going to take this fib off just for peace of mind and clarity. Relative equal highs here. I don't actually know if, yeah, okay. So, price never took these relative equal highs, which makes me think that we're going to want to come back for that. Now we're going to mark out our midnight price. Okay, we have 20 minutes left. Okay, we do take these relative equal highs. This could very well be the sell side of the curve, and we may end up coming for this swing high here. Strong movement upwards at 3 a.m. Moving into this BISI, I'm going to put a fib on this displacement leg. Okay, so we are currently in a discount of this 3 a.m. displacement leg. And we've taken this sell side here. I would classify this as a 2022 model trade, and I'm going to trade it. Okay, so our target is going to be 0.5 standard deviations, a modest 23 handles. Stop is going to be a little below halfway of this bullish order block. I don't want to see price move below there. We are above midnight price, but we've taken sell side. We are above midnight price, but we've taken sell side. It looks like we are in the buy side of the curve. This is an OTE of the 3 a.m. displacement leg. And again, we're targeting 0.5 standard deviation, 2.6 our trade. It's 3:30 a.m. Let's see what price does. I'm just going to bring stop to break even and target hit. Okay. Trade recap. Our bias was accurate. .5 standard deviation of the displacement leg was acquired. So already at 3 a.m. and a little $470. A lot of people don't make that in a day. Okay, let's get out of here, buddy. All right. Whoa, no way. What is going on here? Okay. Okay, going into 4 a.m. Seeing some protraction below midnight price. Price is strongly reacting to midnight price there. Price dipping into this BISI. Okay, we did tap the 0.5 retracement. We come back to tap the 0.618, going into 7 a.m. Okay, so that was even another trade there of this 5 o'clock to 5:45 displacement leg. Come back into an OTE, and we move to 0.5 standard deviations. Sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. I would be curious if we end up coming for this original consolidation. That would be where my focus would be on. Going into 7:30, seeing massive displacement. Price did leave these relative equal highs here though. So I do believe this displacement downwards is a fake out. I'm going to slap a fib on this displacement leg, again using the bodies. We are almost into a discount. Okay. So we are now, again, in the OTE of this 6:30 to 7:15 displacement leg. I'm going to trade this again. Notice how beautifully the 0.5 standard deviation lines up with the swing high of the original consolidation. So we're going to enter this trade. Targeting 0.5 standard deviation as well as the high of this original consolidation. Beautiful how that lines up. I'm going to move my stop below these downward candles bottom. These are bullish order blocks, and I don't want to see price move below that. Okay, so this is a 2.5 hour trade. 7:30 a.m. Interesting. I don't quite know what's going on here. Okay. Software was lagging a bit, but okay, so we're in the trade. And very quick stop out. I don't know what's going on with this journal function here. This is very interesting. I'm just going to reload FX replay. And of course, we lose all of our previous notations, but that's fine. We'll make them as we go. This is not meant to be perfect. Okay, we have the 1 minute when we have the 15-minute. Interesting. So it does not save my trade from that I took earlier, but that's okay. Okay. Let's just go ahead and mark out our midnight price. Let's make sure that we're in New York time. Yes, we are. Okay, and then our previous day's highs and lows. Ah, yes, Monday was a short day. Okay. It's 8 a.m. We have seen movement below midnight price. Curious to see if we see a reaction to that going into 8:30. I'm going to put a fib on this displacement leg. We're in the OTE. Looking at the 1 minute. We have had a break of structure. There are relative equal lows here. I want to short this, but I also just want to see how this plays out. Going into 8:45. Price respects this BISI. Going into 9 a.m. Yeah, okay. So target would not have been reached if I did short that, but I didn't. Also, this strong reaction for midnight price gives me the inclination that shorts are not going to be advisable. Okay, we're moving into 9:30. Boom. We take previous day's high. See a strong reaction downward. Interesting. Okay. Going into 9:38 now. Okay. I want to long this. Now, we did see strong reaction from the previous day's high. So that could work against us here. But I'm always curious to see how the OTE of displacement legs works. We do have these swing lows here, and price could end up sweeping those, moving below midnight price, no discount, and moving higher. But we are back testing, so we have some freedom, and we're just here to learn. So I'm going to long this. Stop is going to be below the mean threshold of this wick, of this bullish order block. This is a 2.3 R. We're going to write down our thoughts. This is an OTE into the pre-market open displacement leg. We are above midnight price, and we have seen a strong reaction from taking previous day's highs, so this long may not work out, but I am curious to see the nature of OTEs. I'm just being honest. So we are now in this long. Strong reaction upwards. I'm already going to move my stop to break even. We've taken this sell side. And target reached. So it's 52 handles. Okay. Trade recap. We accurately judged the 9:30 open Judas swing, 0.5 standard deviation of displacement leg was acquired. Well done. So with one mini contract, it's $1,000. $1,000 made in 10 minutes or so with one mini, and I'm okay with that. Strong displacement higher. Very strong displacement. See if we have any buy side on the left. $10 a.m. We're entering the silver bullet hour. I'm actually going to draw a fib on this 1 minute displacement leg. We did respect this 1 minute BISI, which was an OTE. We're still in a discount. Price left these relative equal highs. Up here, I imagine price would come back to take that. So we're now going to take a trade on this 1 minute chart. We do have a higher time frame confluence, which is this 15-minute BISI here. So this is a lower time frame trade taken with support from a higher time frame analysis. Okay. Okay, looks like our timer's up, but we are going to let this trade go through. We're going to long here, targeting low-hanging fruit, which is these relative equal highs. Stop. I'm just going to put my stop below these dark candles, which I believe to be bullish order blocks. This isn't a super high R trade. And in all reality, for example, if we take a fib of this entire displacement leg, yeah, so we could end up moving down into here, and I may get stopped out. But we've seen such strong displacement that, well, let's see what happens here. Mainly, I want to see price respect this 15-minute BISI. Not the best R on this trade, but if our draw on liquidity is accurate with a high strike rate, we do not need to have a perfect RR all the time. This is also in the silver bullet hour. Okay. This is during the silver bullet hour. This is an OTE entry of the 10 o'clock displacement leg. We are above midnight price, and we have already taken previous day's highs, which may factor against us. But let us see if our drawn liquidity is accurate. There are relative equal highs above that the algo doesn't leave for no reason. So we are now in the trade. And stopped out. Okay. We're now in the OTE of this larger displacement. Just curious to see how the rest of the day would have planned out. Okay, so actually we were in a state of sell-side delivery. We're just going to journal this. Trade recap. Trade was not successful. We were in a state of sell-side delivery. That's fine. That's fine. On the day. So that is a lesson in how just taking a trade and leaving is a good idea, because now we're just up $250 in the day when prior we were up $1,000. But this is for learning purposes. So we're just going to play out the rest of the day to see how it goes. Price moves back up into the OTE of this downward 10 a.m. displacement leg. Okay, we move back again to take this swing high. This could be a turtle soup. Some consolidation going into 130. It is not a turtle soup. We continue to move higher. Consolidating within this SIBI. $3.15. All right, let's stop. Okay. Looks like we just consolidate for the rest of the day. Basically a consolidation from 130 to 4, but nonetheless an ICT Classic buy day. This is going to conclude this backtesting session. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful day.